brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production.
Now, more than ever before, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build our nation. We have to pull together to build this beautiful place we call home. I want to welcome you to this segment in the program where I will speak, laying the foundation for meaningful engagement. And I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off by saying you have to get accustomed to those on the other side who will constantly complain, who will forever be speaking hate or wishing the government bad. You have to get accustomed to that. Because here you have a typical example of how these people do not want to see Grenada move forward. I remember vividly the NNP out there on radio. I mean, every radio talk show program, calling, complaining about the Pearls Simone Bridge. Remember that? How many people remember that? They were complaining consistently so. Every time you put on the radio, you will hear them complain that the bridge is in a deplorable state. All the wood and so on that bridge is rotten. It needs replacing. They need to do some work to get it back in shape for the residents of Simone and Pearls and so on. So the NNP did that for weeks and weeks. But remember, they did not fix it. The NNP did not fix the bridge under their time, under their watch. The NNP was in power for 20-something years. They did not fix that wooden bridge in Pearls. Kate Lewis was the member of parliament there for quite a while. I think she's on her second leg or something like that. But she has been there as a minister and as a member of parliament. They did not, the NNP administration did not repair it or fix it. They just let it run down. So NDC came into power and then they started to blame the NDC, to say to the NDC, fix it. You must fix it, right? So the NDC brought engineers up there and they realized that they need to block it immediately because it was a disaster waiting to happen. So they block it off. Well, who tell them to block it off? Now self the NNP start making noise and talking louder. They want it fixed and they want it fixed. So the NDC decided to fix the bridge, to take resources from elsewhere and put it towards fixing the bridge. You know, the NNP stopped talk about the bridge and they're not even commending the government, applauding the government for fixing it. They stopped talk about it. So the bridge is being fixed, right? And the government is putting hardwood there now. So instead of the pine, the soft wood, they're putting the hardwood on the bridge so it will last longer. So they're doing a proper work there that would last for quite a while. Well, you ain't hear the NNP talk about it at all. You understand the point? So work is being done on that bridge, and we must commend the government. They're not whooping, they're not guessing, they're not doing stuff that would not last. They're taking their time and they're doing a proper thing, right? So I am saying to the NNP, show some appreciation because appreciation is important. You are complaining about the bridge. You are talking every single day on the radio about the bridge. Now the bridge is being fixed and almost complete, huh? Almost complete. And they place a hard wood, a better type of wood on the bridge. We want to see the same NNP people come out and commend the government. Because remember, only recently there was this NNP surrogate calling the Plead Your Cause program, complaining about the Fenton Village Road, the piece of road in Fenton Village. He said just before the election, the NNP started the road. Well, that was to get vote, right? To get the votes of the people there. But they did not succeed. They started the road and they stopped. And he saying to the NDC, fix it. Fix the piece of road. Well, the NDC, the Honorable Andy Williams, went and he fixed the piece of road. The guy called back the Plead Your Cause program to thank the radio station. And in a lukewarm way, he said, well, I want to thank the people who fix it. Not even brave enough to come out and say, you want to thank the Honorable Andy Williams for fixing the road and the government of Grenada for fixing the road. But he was quick to say the NNP fixed the road to a certain part before the election because he's an NNP supporter, right? And that is how they operate. But when it's fixed, they're not going to commend the government or applaud the government. It's just like a person is accused of a crime. They plaster the person's face all over the newspaper. But the person goes to court and is acquitted. The person is found not guilty, right? The person has to pay the newspaper to publish something in the newspaper, in a little corner of the newspaper, to say that he's found not guilty. Yeah, yep. That is how it goes. And it's the same way the NNP is operating. So you accuse the government. You say, you ain't fixing the road. Fix it. Fix the road. Fix the bridge. But when they fix the bridge and they fix the road, you are not bold enough, brave enough, patriotic enough to come out and say thanks. That is what we are experiencing here. They're not brave enough to do that because they're not genuine. They're not sincere. So the NDC is doing stuff. A lot of work is being done. Left, right, and center. The NNP folks will not talk about that. The NDC has to do it for themselves. They have to talk about it. Right? Showcase it. Promote it. The NNP will forever continue to complain. Complain about this. Complain about that. And when you fix it, they will still refuse. They would refuse to come out and acknowledge that you fix it and applaud you for fixing it. That is what is going on in Grenada here, with the NNP. But they're ungrateful. That is the word. They are ungrateful. They are an ungrateful bunch. Show some appreciation. The government didn't have to do that. They could have left the bridge closed down, blocked off, because there's a road to go into Paul's from the top and a road to go into Simone from the bottom, from that roundabout, by the Paradise, by the bridge there, right? That main bridge into Simone. They could have left it just like that for quite a while, right? The NNP did that in many different areas. They just block off the area because there's entrance and top entrance. That's how they operate. But the NDC decided to fix it. Be grateful. Be thankful. And I am saying it is important that we call them out on it because they're out there braying, backing, bawling, crying, screaming. Okay, well, the NDC went and they addressed the situation. They fixed this, they fixed that. Come out and thank them. Come out and applaud them. But you would not. They would not do it because they believe if they do it, the NDC going to look good. And people are going to realize that the NDC is responsive to the needs of the people. They're doing stuff for the people of the country. We must put country first and party after. Put country first. If you are genuine about the development of the country, let's talk country. But no, the NNP is never about country. Never. At no time. They would go after the NDC if the NDC decides to put certain people in certain positions. They're going to say, well, it shouldn't be about party, it should be about country. But when it's on the other side of the coin, where they, the NNP, must join hands and hearts together to build, to transform our country, they are not doing it. They are not interested in that. They're all about their party, and they want their party to come back in power so they could get more road work, so they could get free materials, so they could get the poor relief assistance, so the child could go in the Imani training program and remain there for 8 years and 10 years training. It's amazing. That is what they want. That is exactly what they want. In fact, those NNP supporters who get a little blind on the road, they're going to work late. They're dragging as though they don't want to go, and some of them not even going. Some of them not even going, and then they complaining because they don't want to work under NDC contractor. Yep. And they're making it clear, they used to be contractor under the NNP, and that is the work they should get to be a contractor. So they're a contractor for life. So the NDC supporter should work under them for life. So now the shoes is on a different feet. NDC is in power. And the contractors, they are NDC. And we must see that throughout. Right? One or two areas you might see a person who, but generally speaking, it should be, 99% NDC people. They should be the people getting the contract and let the NNP supporters work under them, because the NDC supporters worked under the NNP contractor for 20-something years. So now the opportunity is available for the NNP supporter to feel and to experience what the NDC supporter was experiencing. It feels good because you have been working under that NNP supporter as a contractor, because they were contractors, NNP contractors, right, for the debushing program for a lot of years, a lot of years, right? And the NDC supporter had no problem with that. So now work under the NDC supporter as the contractor. The NDC supporter is the contractor. Work under them. Go and haul bush. Go and cut bush like normal, right? So I want to encourage the NDC to give the NDC supporter the contract. Let them be the contractor. And I know you're going to give one or two of the NNP a little blight on the road, a fortnight. Let them work under the NDC contractor. If they ain't want to work, let them stay home. Because a lot of them, they refuse to work under the NDC contractor. Because they say when NNP was in power, they were the ones getting the contract, and they want to forever get the contract. Right? And some of them, they're going to work late. They're dragging as though you have to push them to go and cut the bush. And by time 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, they're done. They're gone their way. Nah, you have to change that. Make sure they work. Let them work for their money. Let them go there and work for their money. Right? So I want to encourage you to make sure that happens. Let them work for their money, the full time and the full task. Let them do it. You don't want to work under the NDC contractor? Go and work under them. That is what you want to see. So again, I want to say we need to be thankful. We need to be grateful, because the government is doing a lot of work throughout the country. A lot of work. And the NNP, look, we know you're a part of the complaining industry, and we know you're ungrateful. We know no matter what the NDC does in the constituency or in Grenada, you will never appreciate it. We know that because you're about your party before country. But we are not like that. We are about country first and foremost. We want Grenada to move forward. We want betterment and opportunities to come for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. That's important. Very, very important. So, folks, I want to say to you, let us continue to promote what the government is doing. Let us defend the NDC, promote the NDC. Let us defend the NDC administration, the government, and let's promote what they are doing. They're doing an excellent job, a fantastic job, a marvelous job, and we all must be proud of them. So I am saying to the NNP, you could complain, continue complaining. We are accustomed with you complaining, but we also saying to you, when the government attends to some of the things that you're highlighting, you should also come out and applaud the government for doing it. But I know you would not. You don't have the courage to do that because you're unpatriotic and you're ungrateful. So we know a lot of things are happening. And many a times you talk about them. Okay, that's great. But the NDC attend to it. They fix it. Right? They remedy the situation. Why not come back on the same platform you're criticizing them on and say, boy, thanks to the government, they did X and they did Y. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. So, folks, let me now say to you, the government is working their tail out to get everybody on board with a transformation agenda. Never in the history of the public service you saw PSAs, senior managers of those different ministries, going out on the different project sites and experiencing the thing firsthand. Never. The NNP has been in power for 20-something years. Not once they had the vision to take senior managers out on the field to see what people are doing, to experience the thing firsthand. This administration is doing that. And that is why I'm saying there are a lot of PSAs who are appointed by the NNP. And you don't have to be an NNP supporter. But the majority of them, they are loyal to the NNP. It should not be. You're appointed as a PS, and it should be based on merit, competence, right? Experience, results-based appraisal. So you appraise that person, and they're in that position. So it should not be you going and solve NNP or making NNP look good. No, no, no. You should make Grenada look good. So you should not undermine or delay or sabotage the government. You should never do that. But there are a lot of PSAs whose mission is to do exactly that. There are some who are genuine, who are professional, who understand government comes, government goes. Whoever government is there, you work with them and you make sure that you fulfill the agenda, because that is your job. Your job is to fulfill the agenda of the government as a PS, the transformation agenda. That is the line. It is clear, right? You marshal the troops, the subordinates, you marshal them to fall in line with the transformation agenda. That's what it's supposed to be, right? So if NDC is in power, you follow that. NDC, NNP, PLM, whoever is there. So don't try to undermine. But I'm happy to see that you're going out there and they're bringing them out there to see firsthand. So let me just showcase that now.
Senior government officials now have a better appreciation for projects and programs aligned with the priority focus areas of the Deacon Mitchell administration following a tour of some of these sites during the week. It was a senior management board meeting with a difference, as it removed the permanent secretaries and other senior management officers from the usual enclosed space and brought them outdoors. The group visited the General Hospital Hospital and Phase 2 of the facility, Wester Hall Secondary School and St. David's RC, Simone Cultural Center and the Grenville Bus Terminus, the Maribor Propagation Station. Secretary to the Cabinet, Ms. Cavell Lett, told GIS the tour will help senior officials make more informed decisions in relation to projects and programs.
It allows board members to observe the different agencies, projects and programs and to provide feedback for their work. And it helps us to understand the links between the government's priorities and the work of the ministry on a national development or the whole of government perspective. We discussed the impact and the results of the program. And so to do this, we decided we're going to go around the island. We're going to look at each project. It gave us a mental break in terms of we are now feeling a little better and they are now appreciative of all the government projects that we actually got a chance to look at. And so at the end of the day, we are able to now make better decisions because we are informed.
She said the tour fulfilled the objectives based on the feedback from officials and members of the public.
It was something different. It was welcome division. As a matter of fact, the majority of the PSs were happy that they were able to, just see in actuality what is happening, seeing that the work is being done. And so they have a better perspective. We went by the bus terminus as well in Grenville, where we proposed to do a green space. So it's not just about what happens and what we have to make decision on, but also how it will impact the public. And whilst we were there, people keep saying, oh, we need this and we need that. We need a bench, and we're so happy to see you. I remember one PS saying this is the first time that something like that happened and that they're able to now go out and interact and see in action what is actually happening.
Good. Excuse me. That's really, really good because, we have not seen that in a long, long, long time. And that is what you want to see. Senior managers going out there and actually seeing what is happening on the ground. That's important. So I want to commend the CABSEC, Miss Lett. I want to commend her for that initiative.
Hello, this is Ramjit, wandering the streets of St. George's, Grenada, looking for party.
Psst, hey you.
Huh? Who, me?
Yeah, you. Come here.
What?
You want a party?
Yeah.
All right then. Shut up and listen to this side.
Anyone long me a look for you?
Grenada, get ready for the International Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition. Sold out in New York and around the world. And it's back in Grenada. And this year it's so large, so grand, so magnificent. Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise featuring Brother B.
But wait. That's not all. There's more. Also featuring and performing live, Dave.
Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise and featuring direct from Trinidad,
Iowa, George.
Time to celebrate.
Plus many more surprises and international guests to be announced.
the largest celebrity cruise ever.
It's the Riders Promotion and Amazing Colors Celebrity Cruise, the sexy edition. Sunday, August 13th, boarding time 10 a.m. sharp aboard the Embassy.
It's the Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition.
Now remember, that's Sunday, August 13th, boarding at 10 a.m. sharp. Tickets available right now at the Amazing Colors Mass Camp or call 473-415-6174. Or at celebritycruise.eventbrite.com. Get your tickets now. This one comes to your compliments, Ride Along Live and Clark's Court Run.
The Celebrity Cruise, the ultimate out-of-body experience.
Right, so don't forget that. That's Celebrity Cruise there. My good friend, Junior George. He's the man behind that. All right. Yes, let us now feature the engagement with the traffic wardens because it's important.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell has outlined his vision for the Grenada Transport Commission during a meeting with members of the Board of Directors and traffic wardens on Thursday. Part of it includes designating specific tasks to wardens so that the police can focus more on other areas. Prime Minister Mitchell was joined at the meeting by Chairman of the Board, Mr. Francis Paul, Deputy Chairman of the Grenada Transport Commission Board, Jasmine Alexander, and the Royal Grenada Police Force representative, Inspector Ryan Smith.
I've been publicly indicating that there are lots of things that the police do, which to my mind needs to be transferred to civilians. Now when I say civilians, I include the traffic wardens. The licensing and inspection of vehicles, for example. There's no reason for the police to be involved in that. The police is already stretched and undermanned in many of the policing areas. And so from a vision perspective, there are a number of areas. Licensing and inspection of vehicles, the passport office, immigration services, many of these things, the vision is to move these things into civilian hands so that the police can do proper policing rather than work that is better suited for civilians.
He said the meeting is important as it gives the wardens an opportunity to be vocal about their views, challenges and ideas.
The task is that of mine as Minister, the Permanent Secretary of the Transport Commission Board, to make sure that we address the challenges that you face. And so one of the reasons for having this meeting is to hear from you, unfiltered, about what have been some of your experiences, what are some of the issues you think needs to be addressed, and importantly as well, what are some of your ideas and thoughts and recommendations and suggestions for addressing some of these.
Chairman of the Grenada Transport Commission, Francis Paul, reminded the wardens that their role helps fortify the efforts of the RGPF's traffic department.
I want all the traffic wardens to understand that you are a very important cog in the wheel of ensuring that the transportation system in Grenada is run efficiently. Your role is to augment the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
That's a very nice one there. Our Prime Minister engaging the traffic wardens, and I think there is a need for training, additional training, right, for the traffic wardens and the police officers, particularly in the traffic department. There's a need for additional training on how to deal with people, how to engage people, how to communicate with people, how to approach people. That is important. I just hope that they can do some training in terms of customer service, in terms of communicating and approaching and that added, quality. You want to see that in the traffic wardens. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. You didn't you realize you just ran a traffic light or something? Didn't you see me saying stop or my hands up or something of that sort? You have to be able, good morning, sir, you can't park here. That kind of thing. You have to be able to deal with our people in more respectable manner, and particularly now, around the carnival time. You have visitors here, right? You have people who are visiting for the first time. You want them to leave with a good impression of Grenada so they can come back again or refer their friends and colleagues to Grenada, because that is how you're paid. You're paid, right? So someone is doing some cutting in the yard, not in my yard, but adjacent to me. So the noise you're hearing in the background is exactly that, right? So you want the people to go back with a good impression, because that is where you get the money. That's how government gets the money to pay you, the traffic wardens, to pay you, the police officers. So if you spoil it, you're spoiling it for yourself too. So I am saying there is a need to give them some additional training, right? Additional training. That's important. Very, very important. The traffic wardens and the police officers. You have to be able to deal with people differently, how you approach people. You don't just come heavy-handed and believe because you're the law or you represent the law, you're going to just come and disrespect people and so on. No, you have to change your approach. Change your approach. It's not what you do, but how you do what you do and when you do what you do. Timing is also important. You have to use your discretion. Many a times you have to use your discretion. You're the first judge. And some of these people, they come on the work with attitude, with their problems from home. And they believe, well, today, they go charge 100 persons, 100 people. They go charge 50 busmen. And they go write how much tickets and so on. That is not what you're supposed to do. You don't leave home with that kind of intention. That is taking advantage. That is abusing your power. It's like you're going out to torment and molest bus drivers and motorists throughout. So you have to adjust accordingly. Your attitude. You have to be able to look at this thing in a different light. So training is needed. So yes, you engage and so on. That's good. You engage them. There's a need for additional training. Training for the traffic wardens and the police officers in the traffic department. You can't just leave them on the job like that. They need to be, given refreshers and training on how to deal with people, how to approach people, how to be respectful. Even if you're administering the law and then you're enforcing the law and so on, you still need to be respectful and decent in doing that, because you're a police once and you're a civilian twice. When you go into the job, you're a civilian before you go into the job, and when you're leaving the job, when you retire or when they make you go. Because there is this NNP guy on a podcast, they make him go. They fire him, right? Because he and another one went on some Romana cruise and they thief some Campari. They thief a couple bottles of Campari. So they go there to secure, but they thiefing. And that individual is on a podcast, bumping his gum and running him out about the NDC. Right? Yeah. He went and thief. So they fire that. They make him go. But besides that, there were situations where he was police, and when a person has to go to court, so they owe the court, that same individual would go to them and harass them and take their money and not give them a receipt. So the court and the state was not getting that money. That same individual who is on a podcast talking for NNP, the New Nasty Party, talking for them, and that is what the acronym means, the New Nasty Party, talking for them on a podcast. That same guy on this online thing. I'm telling you. So and they come out as though it's a big joke. He used to be police. He used to be a police officer, right? They kicked that out. They fired that because he went on a cruise. Instead of protecting what the person had, they start thieving the Campari, right? They start thieving them people Campari. You understand? And then besides that, there were people. For example, there was a gentleman from Gulf Coast who owed the court because the case called behind his back. So he owed the court a certain amount of money. He was unaware, the date of the case and so on. The same individual went to that individual and said, look, you owe the court, I could arrest you now and I could go with you now. Right? So maybe he saw his name pop up and he called him and he said, well, if you're giving the money, I won't arrest you right now. Right? So the individual sent another person to pay in the South St. George police station, and he pulled the person behind in a back room and said to the person, well, give me the money. And he didn't give the person a receipt. So the guy then complained to the person who gave him the money to go and pay. He said, don't worry, man, the man he go handle it for him. Up to now. Then Tutu's police show up after a period of time in front of the man, do all say, well, you ain't pay, we come to arrest you. And then he said, no, well, I pay the man. Pay what? The man who passed the money on to where he's supposed to pass it. He thieved the money, right? So a lot of them on podcasts talking and pushing thing for NNP, the New Nasty Party, the NNP. right? It's a big joke, a big joke, right? So it's always good to be good to people and understand that you're a police once and you're a civilian twice, right? You go in as a civilian in the police force, you retire, or they kick you out. So you have somebody kick out. They fire them. They make them go. And look at them now. They're on podcasts talking for the new nasty party. You understand the point? And watch me, two of them, It's two, not just one. Two. You have another one, right? About like a size. And I wouldn't even tell you his history. I won't tell you about him too much. Because by now you should know. Yeah, they ain't good. Yeah. So, and these are the characters. And then you have one, the Tomcat. You know the Tomcat. That one was not a police, but you know what he did with cell phone gates. So all these people who are talking for the new nasty party, and the NNPA, the acronym stands for the new nasty party, right? Not the new national party, the new nasty party. Good? Just making you know that. That is what the acronym stands for. So these characters, they're the ones who are talking for the new nasty party. Yeah. So it's amazing. But a lot of people out there, they're listening and they don't know. So they're just listening and they're falling in line. It's amazing. Ah, boy. Anyways, so, yeah. Well, let me play a little thing for Junior again, Junior George. That celebrity cruise, I could go on that celebrity cruise, Because I'm a celebrity, and you're a celebrity in your own right. So I'll go on that cruise. I'll be on that cruise.
Hello, this is Ramjit, wandering the streets of St. George's, Grenada, looking for party.
Psst. Hey, you.
Huh? Who, me?
Yeah, you. Come here.
What?
You want a party?
Yeah.
All right, then. Shut up and listen to this guy.
Anyone long me a look for you?
Grenada, get ready for the International Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition. Sold out in New York and around the world. And it's back in Grenada. And this year it's so large, so grand, so magnificent. Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise featuring Brother B.
But wait. That's not all. There's more. Also featuring and performing live, Dave.
Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise and featuring direct from Trinidad,
Iowa, George.
Time to celebrate. Celebrate.
Plus many more surprises and international guests to be announced.
the largest celebrity cruise ever.
It's the Riders Promotion and Amazing Colors Celebrity Cruise, the sexy edition. Sunday, August 13th, boarding time 10 a.m. sharp aboard the Embassy.
It's the Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition.
Now remember, that's Sunday, August 13th, boarding at 10 a.m. sharp. Tickets available right now at the Amazing Colors Mass Camp or call 473-415-6174. Or at celebritycruise.eventbrite.com. Get your tickets now. This one comes to your compliments right along live and Clark's Court Run.
The Celebrity Cruise, the ultimate out-of-body experience.
Right, so that one there, Junior George, that's his event. So I wanted to support that event, support it. I'll be there. I'll be on that cruise. That's the 13th. That's the Sunday. So you have Monday, Carnival Monday and Tuesday, the 13th. So I hope you can, buy up a ticket or two and be a part of that cruise. Please be a part of that cruise. Good vibes. Right, so yeah, so you understand why some of those characters are normally out there speaking for the new nasty party. You understand though, right? And birds of a feather flock together. You should kind of understand what's going down. I hope you get a clearer picture of some of those characters there. And they playing things a big joke. All right. So let me move now to the NDC Women's Arm. They have a event tomorrow. They had one Monday. They had one Monday yesterday at Fox Inn. And then they're having one on let me get it here. All right, let me get it here for you. They're having one on Wednesday, St. John. Right? So Forsyth. Elizabeth Forsyth. Let me look for Forsyth. All right? Right, good. So so that's tomorrow, Wednesday. at the St. John Anglican School. That's a session to deal with depression, to deal with mental health, and they're asking you to come out at 5 p.m. at the St. John Anglican School. Dr. Niels Chaitan will be there, the women's arm of the NDC. All right. Then we have the women's arm again, I think, right? Hillary, yes, you sent me something here. That's on the 18th of August. All right. The women's arm again. There was another activity, a fundraiser at Kirani James Boulevard. So a whole pile of things they have for sale. So Hillary and the team, Elizabeth Forsyth and the entire team, you all are doing a fantastic job with the women's arm. I want to commend you all. I want to applaud you all. Keep doing what you're doing. The women's arm, they're doing an excellent, excellent job. Keep doing that. Vashni Stanislaus, Josephine Blash, and the whole team, you all are doing an excellent job. We want to see the women's arm doing the same thing. We want to see the women's arm doing the same thing. All right, so the canal, Tuesday the 25th, that was yesterday. No, that's today. Today, oh God, Lord. Today is Tuesday 25th. So thank you, Josephine Blash. So they have a session at the canal with Dr. Niels J. Chaitan, the same individual, on mental health, on depression, and so on. So please mobilize, organize at the canal. That's today at 5 p.m. Today, Tuesday at 5 p.m. It's a good thing I go through that. Right? That's the day. So the folks in St. David, organize, mobilize, and be a part of that session. Talk to us. What's bothering you? What's frustrating you? Let's talk mental health. So the NDC women's arm of the right. So the women's arm of the NDC. So today they're in the canal, St. David. Tomorrow they're in the St. John Anglican School. I love that. NDC women's arm, take a bow. Well deserved. So let me move now to, and there's an event in Karakou for Saturday, you know. My friend's supposed to send me that for Karakou. I know you have a fundraiser in Karakou for Saturday coming. If you send me that, I would gladly promote it. I know you told me you sent it to me, but I was looking for it. I didn't manage to get it. All right. So my event now, that's on Thursday next week. Next week, Thursday. So next week, Thursday is that event. The first event. Please buy up the tickets. Buy up the tickets. Buy up the tickets. You can go on ridebuy.com. That's RYDEBUY.com and buy the tickets there. You can buy it in person, right? Because one hand can't clap. Just as I am promoting all the events for you, those in the diaspora, those here in Grenada, now I have an event. And I want you to support that event if you have not yet supported it. All right? One hand can't clap. We got to do this thing together. So that event is get towards getting money for the radio station, the equipment to set up the radio station. All right? So again, I'm saying to you, go on ridebuy.com, RYDEBUY.com. Look for Kem Jones event. Just look for the flyer, right? Kem Jones appreciation event. And you're going to add to cart and order the ticket. So I want to urge you to do that. You can do that today. And you can, I'm in Grenada, right? Ricky's buys on H.E. Street. You can buy a ticket or two from there, right? You can call me, you can message me, WhatsApp me, and get a couple tickets. And those who pledge, who say to me, Kem Jones, hold 2 tickets for them, hold 3 tickets for them, hold a couple tickets for them. I have done that. So I want to urge you, or who say they want to sponsor a couple tickets, I want to urge you to fulfill that obligation between now and Saturday, at least between now and Saturday, for the latest Monday, right? Because we have, let me see here, we have about, how much? 60-something tickets, right? About 63 tickets or so that, people told me to hold for them, and they would pay. All right? So we have about 63 tickets or so, well, 65, because I had 2 from last night. So that's 65 tickets outstanding, right? So I have your name and everything here. So please try to honor that, fulfill that commitment at least by Saturday before the event. Holler at me, let me know I could pick it up. I could pick it up because I need to get the money in before the event. Because remember, I have to pay for certain things. So I need to get the money in before certain events. I see my good partner there just sent me for 2 tickets via Western Union or MoneyGram. You can send the money to MoneyGram, right? Or you can go directly on the site and buy the tickets there. It's up to you. Or you can meet me in person or call me and I could pick it up. All right? All who told me that they want a ticket or 2, please try to honor that between now and Saturday or Monday for the latest. Because remember, Thursday next week is the event. Remember also, we have the pledge or the program to do. The pledge or the program to keep the program going. So that today is already the 25th. So you have to do that at least between now and the weekend. So a lot of things are clashing. So I want to urge you, if you told me to keep a ticket or 2, or you're going to buy a ticket or you're going to pay for a ticket or so, try to honor that. But I'm going to follow up with you because I have your name, all your names and your numbers. I will follow up with you most definitely to get that going. All right? That's important. Very important indeed. And if you can't buy a ticket, you can support, you can sponsor. We have stuff to buy, right? So, for example, I have to get 8 cocktail tables. A cocktail table is $35. $35 for 1 cocktail table. I have to get 8 cocktail tables. I have to get 5 tents. So I cut down the amount of tents to cut cost. Instead of 7, 5. So the 10 by 10 tents, 2, that's $150 a 1. So you can sponsor 1, right? Or 2. I have to get 3 15 by 15 tents. That's just in case rain falls and, that kind of thing. Rainfall, I have to prepare. So I have to get 3 of that, the 15 by 15 tents. That's $250 a 1. I have to get that, right? I have to get some tables, some folding tables, white tables. I have to get a couple of that. Well, my good partner, Frank, I will get some by him, 3. I have 1 that's full. I have to get 2 more. That's the tables. All right? Then you have to buy things to cook. Get stuff to cook, to drop off for certain people and so on, to prepare. So that, again, is a cost. All right? Then, the coolers is $100 per cooler. So I have to get 2 small coolers. Right? Instead of big ones, the small ones. Okay? If you have the big ones, you put too much of drinks in there, it's problems. You got to manage it. All right? So 2 small coolers, $100 a 1. So you could sponsor 1 of that or 2 of them. So it's an opportunity for you to sponsor. If you can't buy a ticket, you could sponsor. Then, ice. I have to purchase the ice. You have to get transport to transport certain things down there to pick up the food and so on. So it's quite a number of things. So you can sponsor, you can give towards the event. So then it will be less expensive for me. So the expense will be less. Instead of $18,000 or $20,000, it will be less than that. So it's an opportunity for you to sponsor, right? So a good friend told me they're going to sponsor the DJ and the song system, right? Welch, good morning. And the live band is $3,500. You see, and a number of other things that to decorate, to put up. You have to hire 3 people or so for the food and 3 people for the bar, and you make sure that the thing is smooth. So there's cost involved in the thing. So again, if you can't buy a ticket and you can't buy a couple of tickets or so, you could still sponsor 1 or 2 things. You could give a little money towards the event to make it possible, to make it happen. That is important, very important. I would love that because it will cut cost. There's some people already indicate, well, Kem, I'll go do that for you, I'll go help you here. That's great. I love that. So it's an opportunity for you to WhatsApp me, message me, say, Kem Jones, boy, I go do this, I go do that, I go sponsor that, I go, I would really appreciate it. All right. So in going forward, as we, during the week, today is Tuesday, tonight, I'll talk about that again, tomorrow morning and throughout the week and into next week, because I really want this to be successful. All right. So have a wonderful day. Take good care. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Take good care. I'll be back with you tonight. Tonight